Hey dear learners, welcome back to e-learning platform of GS College of Commerce Varda. I am Assistant Professor Rajeshwari Sharma and this lecture is for the subject Advanced Statistics for BCom 6th semester. So, as far as the subject is concerned, here we are dealing with our first unit, that is correlation analysis. So in last few lectures we have gone through the various concepts under the correlation analysis, like we have seen the meaning of correlation analysis, then we have discussed the different types, then we have discussed the degrees of coefficient of correlation. Okay, then in very last but one lecture we have seen the formulas to calculate the Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. We have seen the implication of that formula. Okay, and in today's lecture we are going to study the numerical problem of correlation analysis. So our pattern would be, we would start with the simple problems, that gradually as we are going to complete more and more problems, so we are going to increase the difficulty level of the problems. Okay, and this way we will move ahead with this chapter and the different type of problems under this chapter, and we are going to see the problems having the various level, that is simple level, moderate level and the difficult level as well. So let's start with the very first question of the correlation analysis. Okay, so today we are going to start with the type 1, that is correlation in simple series. So here is your question. See what is given in question: find out correlation and probable error. So as far as the concept of probable error is concerned, so we are going to discuss this in the coming lectures, but today we will see how to find out correlation. Okay, by applying the Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlations formula. So here in the problem you can see that you are being given two series, that is series X and series Y. Okay, here series X is represented by age of husband and series Y is represented is being represented by age of wives. Okay, or we can say that two variables are being given here, that is age of husbands and age of wives. Age of husband is being represented by X series and age of wives is being represented by Y series. Under the age of husband, that is X series, you have been given 10 items. Okay, means N would be 10 over here. See, and under the age of wives, that is Y series, again you have been given 10 items, so N again would be 10 in the Y series. Okay, so now we have to calculate the correlation with the help of this given data between these two variables, that is age of husbands and age of wives. So let's see how we are going to calculate the coefficient of correlation. So as we have discussed in last lecture as well, first step would be the preparation chart. Okay, first of all we are going to make the preparation chart, 7-column preparation chart with the help of given data for solving the problem. So here you can see that we have prepared the 7-column preparation chart. Okay, so first of all we have made a 7-column chart whereby we have written X, okay, then dx, then dx square, then y, then dy, then dy square, then dx and dy, dx dy. So first of all what we will do, we will see which data has been given to us in the problem. So in the problem we have been given the X series, item in the X series and item in the Y series. So first of all in X we would write the all items which are given in the X series. So here we have written 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, these are the items that has been given to us in the problem in X series that we have written here. Then we will calculate the dx. Now how are we going to calculate the dx? So dx refers to the deviation. Okay, deviation from the X series. So how we are going to calculate the dx? So for calculating dx we have to take assumed mean, value of assumed mean from X series. Okay, so now how to take the value of assumed mean from the given series. So you can take any number, but it is always preferable that you should have taken the smallest number from X series as your assumed mean, because when you are going to consider the smallest number as your assumed mean, so when you are going to make the calculations, you won't be having the numbers in negative, so that your calculation, there would be less chances that your calculation would be wrong. Okay, and you would, it would be easy for you to make the calculations. Okay, so it is always preferable that you should have taken smallest number as assumed mean. So in X series we can see that this 18 is the smallest number. Okay, this 18 is the smallest number, and that is why I have considered that 18 is our assumed mean. Now how are we going to calculate dx with the help of this assumed mean? Okay, so the formula to calculate dx is x minus a. Means first of all we have to take the items of X series, and then we have to subtract the assumed mean from those items. Like we have considered here that 18 is the assumed mean, and I have encircled this 18. Okay, because it is assumed mean. So how are we going to calculate dx now? First of all we are going to do 18 minus 18, so it would be 0. Okay, then again x is 19, assumed mean is 18, so 19 minus 18 equals to 1. Then next item is 20, means x is 20, assumed mean is 18. Okay, 20 minus 18 would be 2. Okay, then next item is 21, that means x is 21 and assumed mean is again 18. 21 minus 18 would be 3. Then next item is 22, assumed mean is 18. 22 minus 18, so we are going to get 4. Okay, the next item is 23. 23 minus 18, it would be 5. Next item is 24. Okay, so again we are going to subtract assumed mean from this 24. So 24 minus 18 would be 6. Then next item is 25. So again x minus assumed means 25 minus 18. So we are going to get 7. Then again we are going to get the next item is 26 and assumed mean is 18. So again 26 minus 18, so we are going to get 8. And the last item is 27. Okay, and again we are going to subtract assumed mean from this item. So 27 minus 18, so here we are going to get 9. So okay, so this way we have calculated dx, that is deviation from X series from the given series. Okay, then we have to calculate dx square. So how are we going to calculate dx square? So for calculating dx square, you just have to take the square of the values which we have written in the dx column. Okay, like 0 into 0 would be 0, 1 into 1 would be 1, 2 into 2 would be 4, 3 into 3 would be 9, 4 into 4 would be 16, 5 into 5 would be 25, 6 into 6 would be 36, 7 into 7 would be 49, 8 into 8 would be 64, 9 into 9 would be 81. So this way we are going to calculate the value of the different values which are needed to be written in the column of dx square. Then it comes to the y series. Okay, so again in problem we have been given y series, and in y series we have been given different items that we have taken from the problem itself, that we have taken from the question itself. Then what we are going to do in next column, we are going to calculate the value under the dy column. Now what is mean by dy? Dy means the deviation from y series. How are we going to calculate it? We are going to calculate it by using the formula, that is y minus a. Here a refers to assumed mean again. So as we have discussed in previous as we have discussed earlier, we are going to consider the smallest number as assumed mean. So in y series we can see that this 17 is the smallest number. Okay, so here we will consider that this 17 is our assumed mean. Okay, and then by considering the 17 as assumed mean, we will calculate the values under the dy column. Okay, so first of all, first item is 17, so we will do 17 minus 17, so we are going to get 0. Then again second item is also 17, so again y is 17 and assumed mean is also 17, so 17 minus 17 would be 0. Third item is 18. Okay, so we will do 18 minus 17, so again we are going to get 1. Then fourth item is also 18, so again 18 minus 70, so value would be 1. Fifth item is also 18, so again when we are going to do 18 minus 70, so we are going to get 1. Okay, the next item is 19, so when we are going to do 19 minus 17, because value of y is 19, okay, and assumed mean is 17, so when we are going to do 19 minus 17, so we are going to get 2. Next item is again 19, so again 19 minus 17, so we are going to get 2. Then we have 20. Okay, so when we are going to do 20 minus 17, so value would be 3. Okay, then we have 21, so when we are going to do 21 minus 17, so we would get 4. Then last item is 22. Okay, so when we are going to do 22 minus 17, so we are going to get 5. So this way we have calculated the different values which are needed to be calculated under the dy column. Now the next column comes dy square. Now how are we going to calculate the value of this dy square? Okay, so here we would take the square of the numbers which have been put under the dy column, like 0. First number is 0, so 0 into 0 would be 0. Second item is again 0, so 0 into 0 would be 0. Third one is 1, so square of 1 would be 1. Again fourth item is 1, so again square of 1 would be 1. Then next item is again 1, so square of 1 would be 1. The next item is 2. When we are going to take out the square of 2, so we are going to get 4. Okay, 2 into 2 is equals to 4. Next item is again 2, so the square of 2 would be 4. Then next item is 3. Okay, so square of 3 would be 9. Next item is 4, so square of 4 would be 16. And the last item is 5, so the square of 5 would be 25. Okay, so this way we have completed the dy square column. Okay, then the last column, the last thing that we have to calculate here is dx into dy. Okay, because in formula we would be in need of summation of dx into dy, so here we will calculate dx dy. Now how we are going to calculate dx dy? So for calculating this, we have to make multiplication of this two column, that is this dx column and dy column. Okay, so 0 into 0 would be 0. 1 into 0 would again be 0. 2 into 1 would be 2. 3 into 1 would be 3. 4 into 1 would be 4. 5 into 2 would be 10. 6 into 2 would be 12. 7 into 3 would be 21. 8 into 4 would be 32. 9 into 5 would be 45. So this way we have completed the dx into dy column as well. Now we have to make the summation of these different columns. Okay, so when we talk about the first column, so it refers to the x series. So here what we have to write here, we don't have to take the total of these items. We just have to calculate how many items are there, what is the number of items, and we have to write it here. Okay, and number of items is denoted by n, and that is why here we are writing n is equals to 10, because 10 item has been given here in the x series. Okay, then we have to take the summation of this dx column. Okay, so how are we going to take the summation of this dx column? 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9. So when we are going to make summation of all this number, so summation dx we are going to get 45. So summation dx would be equal to 45. Then next step would be we have to take summation of this dx square. Okay, dx square. So when you are going to take total of all this number like 0 plus 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16 plus 25 plus 36 plus 49 plus 64 plus 81, when you are going to make summation of all these numbers, so total of summation dx square would come to 285. Okay, then again we have the y series. Again we have to write how many items are there in the y series. So in y series we have 10 items, so it would be denoted by n. Okay, n means number of items, so number of items is equals to 10, so we have to write it here. Then we have the dy column, so again we have to take the summation of this dy. So here we have added all these numbers in the dy column, that is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So summation dy comes to 19. Okay, so the summation of dy column is coming to 19. Then we will come to the next column, that is dy square. So again here we have to make the total of all these numbers, and after making the total of all these numbers, summation of dy square is coming to 61. Okay, so here we will write summation dy square equals to 61. Then we have dx and dy. So here as well we have to take the summation of all these numbers, which would be termed as summation dx dy. Okay, so when we are going to make summation of all these numbers, that is 0 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 10 plus 12 plus 21 plus 32 plus 45. So we are going to get 129 as the summation of all these numbers. So we would say that summation dx dy is equals to 129. Okay, here what we have done, here we are done with the preparation chart. Okay, here with the help of the given problem we have calculated the different terminologies that we need to put in our formula for calculating the coefficient of correlation. Now what we are going to do, now we are going to put the formula, we are going to apply the formula after making the preparation chart. So what is the formula? Formula is r is equals to n into summation dx dy minus under bracket summation dx into summation dy divided by under root n into summation dx square minus summation dx whole square into n under root n into summation dy square minus summation dy whole square. This is the formula for calculating Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Okay, so now we are done with the preparation chart. We have written the formula. Now what we are going to do, next step is that we are going to put the values in the formula. Okay, so r is equals to, what is the formula? See, n into summation dx dy. So here in the chart we have seen the value of n. What is the value of n? 10. So see, here we have written 10. Okay, here we have written 10. Then into summation dx dy. Okay, so here you can see that we have written summation dx dy in the chart. Value of summation dx dy is 129. So here we have written 129. Okay, 10 into 129. Then minus summation dx into summation dy. So again we are going to see the preparation chart. Here we will see the value of summation dx and summation dy. So value of summation dx is 45 and value of summation dy is 19. So we are going to put this here, 45 into 19. Then upon summation upon under root n into summation dx square minus minus summation dx whole square. Okay, so as we have seen, the value of n is 10. Okay, value of n is 10. So here we will write 10. Then value of summation dx square is 285. So here we have written 285, then minus summation dx whole square. Now what is the meaning of summation dx whole square? Here we have to put the value of summation dx and then we will have to take the square of that summation dx value. Okay, we don't have to directly put summation dx square over here. That is why we have here written the value of summation dx. What is the value of summation dx? In preparation chart you will find that value of summation dx is 45. Okay, so here we have written 45, then we have written the whole square of 45. Okay, then into under root and into summation dy square minus summation dy whole square. So again the value of n is 10. Okay, and the value of summation dy square is 61, that you can see in the preparation chart, and then minus summation of value of summation dy whole square. So we have seen in the preparation table that summation dy, value of summation dy is 19. So here we are going to take the summation of 19 summation of dx whole square. Okay, summation dx whole square, that is why we have written 19 square over here. Okay, now we are going to make calculations. So 10 into 129 would be equals to 1219 minus 45 into 19 would be 855. So here we have written 855, then upon under root n into 285 means 10 into 285, so it comes to 2850, then minus 45 whole square. So when we are going to do 45 into 45, so we are going to get 2025. Okay, so here we will write under root 2850 minus 2025, then into under root 10 into 61. So 10 into 61 would be equals to 610. So we would write 610 over here, and then minus 19 square. So 19 into 19 would be 361. So therefore we would write minus 361 over here. Okay, then again next step we will do 1290 minus 855. So it will come to 435, that we have written here. Then upon under root 2850 minus 2025. So here it will come to 825. So we will write under root 825 into under root 610 minus 361. So it will come to 249. So we will write under root 249. Okay, then next step again in the next step we will write 435, and then we will solve this square roots. Okay, we will solve this square roots. So square root of 825, how we are going to solve the square root of 825? You will write 825 in your calculator and then you will place the sign of under root in your calculator. So you will get the value of under root of 825 or the square root of 825. Okay, so when you are going to solve this under root 825, so you would get 28.7228. Okay, so we are going to take the decimal up to 4 digits. Okay, so that we can have the more accurate answer. Even if you are taking the value after decimal up to 2 digits only, still your answer would be accurate. But for the sake of maintaining more accuracy, we are considering 4 digits. Okay, after decimal. So value of under root 825 would be equals to 28.7228 into under root 249. So value of under root 249 would be equals to 15.7797. Okay, so here we have solved under roots. The next step, we have to take the multiplication of both the numbers. Okay, so 435 divided by, when we are going to multiply this numbers, that is 28.7228 into 15.7797. So we are going to get 453.2372. So what's going to be the values in next step? Values in next step would be 435 divided by 453.2372. And when you are going to solve this, so you are going to get the value of correlation, value of R. So value of R would be 0.9598. Okay, So now we are going to approximate this value. So approximately value of correlation would be 0.96. Why I have written 0.96 over here? Because here you can see that it is 0.9598, and if the number is more than 5, if the next digit is more than 5, so you have to make +1. Okay, and therefore I have taken 0.96 over here. Okay, so here I have taken 0.96. So value of correlation in this problem is R is equals to 0.96. Okay, so as we have seen here, we have calculated the value of correlation, and the value of correlation has come to 0.96. Now what we have to do? Now we have to write the conclusion. So as we have seen the degrees of correlation, so thereby we have seen the different degrees. Okay, like perfect correlation, correlation, high degree of correlation, moderate degree of correlation, low degree of correlation. Okay, so when the value is when the value is between, when the value of coefficient of correlation is more than 0.75, so what do we say? That we say that there is high degree of correlation between the two variables. Okay, so here we can see that the coefficient of correlation is 0.96, which is more than the 0.75. Okay, and it is in positive number. Okay, so here we will say that there, as the value of R is 0.96, so it indicates that there is high degree of positive correlation between given variables. Okay, so what are the given variables? Given variables are age of husband and age of wives. Okay, so what we are going to say? We are going to say that there is a high degree of positive correlation between the age of husbands and the age of wives. So this way we are done with our first numerical problem. We have calculated the coefficient of correlation by using the formula in Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Okay, in next lecture we are going to deal with the next numerical problem. Till then, you keep studying the problem. You keep studying. In case you are having any doubt in any of the problems, so you can ask me, as the problem is entirely solved in this PPT, so you can make your own notes by using this PPTs. Okay, so in case of any doubts, just call me, or you can send a message to me on WhatsApp as well. So keep studying, be thirsty for the knowledge. Thank you.